really listen to this music preemptively before I start playing it because that was a little bit loud and a little bit sounding like the TARDIS. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. I'm your host, Grant Magic, dictator of the Republic of New Strathclyde, also the dictator of nothing else. I meant to say the host at Virgan Radio Service, which I usually am. It's not anyone else. That piece of music you just heard was More Plastic by Razor, an extremely loud piece that I forgot to play and check before I actually put it on the stream. You can find the link in the description below. It's an NCS release, so with me on the stream today I have the President and Vice President of the Dolusian Unitary Republic, one Matthew LeBeau and another Daniel Elliott. How are you today, gentlemen?
Very good, thanks.
Excellent. So we're just going to talk a little bit about Dolusia. I know that yourself, Matthew, you were on. I can't quite remember the time scale ago that you were on. If you've got any idea.
It was probably around a year ago. I can't remember.
Maybe. So we're just gonna jump into questions to start. For you, Mr. LeBeau. So my first question is, what motivated you to begin the micronation project, Dolusia?
Well, I have pretty much always been fascinated with the idea of micronation since as long as I can remember. When I was little, I used to spend hours on end just imagining that exact sort of scenario. Now, fast forward to November 2017, and I find out my high school is doing a social studies fair competition, and I just figured, hey, that would be the perfect excuse to create my own micronation. Putting in a little bit of work in there, we got Dolusia, the Dolusian Unitary Republic, part of a project to teach people about micronations. That project eventually scored me third place in its category in the state of West Virginia, so I'm pretty proud of that. Yet, even after that project, I just grew so fond of Dolusia that I decided to stay afterwards, and I am just very proud of where Dolusia is going today. And, of course, all this means that Dolusia has its roots in education, so, of course, we're looking for ways to promote that.
Excellent. I have already stated your role within Dolusia, which is obviously the president of the country. But can you tell us anything else about your roles or your responsibilities within Dolusia?
Well, of course, I am the president, so the jobs I have in that sort of department are twofold. I'm both the president of the National Assembly, so I preside over it and conduct meetings, and I also oversee the executive arms of the Dolusian Unitary Republic, such as guiding Dolusia's diplomacy as its chief diplomat, and appointing the heads of different executive departments like the Department of Citizenship. More than that, I am the ceremonial face of Dolusia, so it is my responsibility to do everything I can to see to its success and growth. But, of course, I couldn't just do that alone. I do have to thank Daniel for all the help he has put in as my vice president as well.
Excellent. Do you have any current projects within Dolusia?
Oh yes, we have a bunch going on. This quarantine has been a very productive time for Dolusia.
Yeah.
So
you keep saying that it's the most productive time in Dolusian history, which is the joke that you keep making.
Yeah, this has been a very productive time. So we have a bunch of different projects. One of them is called DARA, which is the Dolusian Aerospace Investigation and Research Endeavor, which is basically our aerospace agency for Dolusia, so model rockets and that sort of thing. Haven't really been involved with that too much, but we're looking to do more launches and the like over the summer. We're also working on creating new statutes of autonomy, which are basically our provincial constitutions for Mendacia and Osaga, which should be done by June. We're also updating our national symbols. We're in a complete overhaul there. So our current national motto is Nihil Verum Est, as you can see on our coat of arms, but we have recently changed that to Libertas Fraternitasque Transmare, which is Latin for liberty and brotherhood across the oceans, a more fitting motto there. And part of that is creating a new coat of arms and Great Seal to reflect that. We're also writing a new national anthem, which is set to the tune of the Battle Cry of Freedom, a very popular song during the American Civil War. We are working on getting lyrics set up to that. And we're also looking for new ways to involve our national YouTube channel, which is currently only used for presidential addresses. There's also a bunch of different projects that I'm really excited about that I just can't really talk about right now, as well as a bunch of more mundane things that nobody would really care about. But there's just a lot going on for Dolusia right now.
Hmm. What about future projects? Do you have anything lined up for, let's say the next 6 months?
We are maintaining a list of our future projects, and everything I just described to you is on there, as well as we're working on creating a new national currency. We're hoping to get a Discord server set up for our citizens, and more general, just passing more regulations, getting Dolusia more established, and growing its presence.
Okay. I believe that you've recently put out a citizenship application. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes. So, opening up citizenship with this sort of application is something we've been wanting to do since day one. So, we are very glad now to have that available to the public. And things with that application have been going pretty slow at first, but we are starting to gain traction. So today's the 6th, so the application has been available for 6 days now, and we've added 2 new citizens, and we have a couple more applications that we are processing. My personal goal for that is to try and reach a total of 10 citizens by the end of May. We are currently at 4, and once we get to 10 citizens under the Delusion Constitution, we can add an additional delegate to the National Assembly for our elections that are going to be held on June 1st. And for anyone wishing to become a citizen of Dolusia, the application we talked about is pinned on my Twitter profile, the at DelusiaGov. There are a few short questions on there, and once you've submitted your application, that's followed by an interview with the Department of Citizenship, which is Daniel and myself. And if you are accepted to that application and you are now a citizen, we will be sure to send you all the information in your email as soon as possible. And for anyone interested in applying, Dolusia recognizes unlimited multi-citizenship, meaning that anyone wishing to become a citizen of Dolusia can, without having to give up citizenship with any other nation. So all these different things together trying to promote this application, make sure that Dolusia can grow and become more powerful.
Okay, well, thank you for all those answers, Mr. LeBeau.
Of course.
I'll now be moving on to Vice President Daniel Elliott. I was under the pretense quite a while ago that you ran the Empire of Sartontia, and you've since joined the Delusian Unitary Republic. What was your reasoning for that?
Well, the main reasoning for that was during the end sort of time of Sartontia. There was a series of arguments that just continued to keep growing and growing between the 3 members, which ended in me deciding to leave. The reason I joined Dolusia after that is mainly because I want to still be in my national community, but without like still have a presence, but without my own nation. At that point, it had just collapsed in on itself. So yeah,
Okay.
really.
All right. That's fine. What I have already stated that your role is obviously a vice president of Dolusia, but do you have any other possible responsibilities, roles within the
Yep. Currently, I am both the vice president and the director of citizenship of the Dolusian Unitary Republic. The vice president is mainly currently just a figurehead type role, like title. It just means I can step in if Matthew is ever unavailable, whilst the director of citizenship means I currently coordinate the main aspects of citizen application, and also create the citizen identification numbers, which every once they join.
Okay. What are your current thoughts of the Delusia and its leadership? I can't remember how long it's been since you actually joined the Unitary
Yeah.
Republic. But I think it's been long enough for you to have a think about how you feel that the country is going in terms of leadership, projects, and reputation. Oh dear, I think you've cut out, Daniel. Is that me? Oh no. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a bit of oh dear, we're having some technical problems right now. Let me just work this out. He's just talking to himself. See the little green circles going around his picture, but I can't hear his voice. That's not good. Daniel. Oh dear. Matthew, if you would like to come back for a second.
Yeah, I cannot hear him either.
I don't know what's going on. This was not meant to happen. Oh dear. I thought it was just me for a second.
I see he's trying to mute and unmute himself, but he still has that green circle around him and we can't hear him.
Yeah, again, for everyone watching at home, I apologise. Daniel has suddenly cut off in the middle of what he's saying. I can't,
Maybe he can try leaving and coming back.
Yeah, I don't think he's hearing us either. Just bear with us at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello?
Yes, there he is.
We can hear you.
Okay.
There is.
Where did I leave off?
I just asked the question. You'd said a few words, and then I never heard from you again. So if you could just continue.
Okay.
If you could
right.
continue with that.
Yeah. Okay. So with the current state of Dolusia, I would say that it's in a good place. Like compared to Sartontia, it leagues and leagues and leagues above because it actually has a properly thought out system. I think it's good for any members that wish to join or citizens, because the systems do allow you to express your views, though me and Matthew don't always agree.
Okay.
It always
Alright.
it ends up working well because of the rules we've got in place. So far as Matt's leadership goes, say it's good. I don't particularly have anything against what he's done with Dolusia. Yeah, I've had opportunity to run for president and just haven't, because I don't feel it necessary.
Alright. Is it possible that you could speak a little bit louder?
Right, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. It's just you.
Is that any better?
Yes, that's much better. It's just you were a little bit
Okay.
quiet. You were a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
And that answer you gave. So we're now gonna move on from the topic of Dolusia and move on to the topic of the micronational community. There's been a lot going on in these past few weeks. Some very troubling issues which have been absolutely nothing but total disgrace and disgusting attitude and behaviour from some micronations that I personally did look up to, but now they've kind of all fallen out of grace with what's been happening. I'm not going to state exactly what's been going on. Please don't state either what's been going on exactly, because we all know what's been going on. But the point is, so the current events within the community.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You cut out for a second there.
That's fine. The current events right now has been the recent the recent foundation of this Sasonia Gov, this Nazi kind of nation who hates the gays and wants to kill the Jews and hates black people as well for no reason.
I'd almost forgotten about them.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the really funny thing is, he has the audacity to ask why everyone's knickers are on a twist. It's because you're an anti-Semite, you're a racist, and you're
openly
a homophobe.
favoring genocide.
Yeah, advocating mass genocide of all these peoples. Are you that dense not to think people would be a bit angry about it? Are you really that dense?
Let's be honest here. If anyone's of that ideology, they're going to be pretty bloody thick.
To be honest, I'm pretty proud of the way the community rushed into action against them. A campaign of mass reporting within the first couple hours of their discovery. And I don't know what all Twitter has done against them. I know their account is still active, and I know Twitter has taken some actions against them, but I'm just proud that the community was able to rush together so quickly to try and get them out of there.
Yeah, I would agree. Because I definitely would advocate for the same sort of respect, or action even, not respect, to be done to these accounts that appear in the community in future, because it's so much easier to ignore them. It stops all the problems. It's good to see that the community actually did that this time.
Yeah,
it's not much else I can say on that.
For me,
for all its flaws, the community was quick to rush in there and pretty unified against.
Yeah, for me, I haven't really bothered with them. I've seen some of their tweets. I've reported some of their tweets. but I'm not gonna react. They're gonna get the standard "oh really cat" from now on, which is my new motto against trolls is the "oh really cat." So
Yeah.
I could bother to show it on screen right now, but I don't think I will because it's just too damn funny. So
Yeah, don't want to make this stream too funny now, do we?
yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the things been going on. Again, the three of us know the situation with a certain individual who shall not be named, and the situation who again shall not be named. What are your thoughts on that? Without naming this person or the situation that they're in.
Don't you trust us, Grant?
I do. It's just that the person in question has asked me not to state it on VRS at any point.
That's understandable.
Well, as we've always covered it, Dolusia maintains its position of absolute neutrality in the situation, while we don't have all the information available to us. But it still really scares me, just the lack of justice and the lack of dignity and decorum with which this situation has been carried out. It just scares me that an organization like that, trying to style itself as the definitive micronational organization, can go so well beyond the scope of micronationalism in a way that can be very harmful to the reputation of the community. So we encourage everyone to just defer judgment on the situation to the legitimate macronational authorities while all the information is not available to us.
Okay. With both of your current thoughts of the community?
I'd say in general it's calmer than it used to be. With what I witness anyway, that might be different for different people. But from what I've seen, it's just been rather positive to most degrees. I mean, excluding the recent events.
And I do think that besides the two situations we just discussed, the community has been pretty quiet recently, and I'm just hoping personally that we can find some sort of big productive activities to try and revitalize it, try and go back to the sort of heights of activity we saw in the community in 2018 and parts of 2019. And some of those ideas are in the works. Like, Delusia's been involved in negotiations with a couple other micronations on this sort of topic, but I really don't think I'm at liberty to say anything specific about them yet. Just, they're going on, and I'm excited, and I'm hoping it has the potential to revitalize the community.
Definitely. I'm sure whatever this project is it'll be a big success. Obviously, I've got an idea of what you're talking about. I don't know if Daniel has.
I've got no clue.
You've got no clue.
I'm in the blank here.
That's good.
Daniel and I have talked about it extensively in our National Assembly meetings.
All right.
When? What? I'm just gonna pretend I know what you mean.
But yeah, so things have been mad the past few weeks. What about worries of the community?
The biggest thing that worries me about the community is just the delusion that micronations can have legitimate courts of justice when we simply can't. I personally think that one of the most important things micronations need to do is simply recognize their limitations so they can focus on what's more beneficial to them, that really matters to their country. And without recognizing their limitations, like in the situation we discussed before, these sort of situations always devolve into simple vigilante justice in kangaroo courts. Micronations just don't have the resources or the know-how to engage in proper courts of justice, and it just leads to such horribly mismanaged situations as we are now facing. I think it's most important that in these areas that micronations can't cover, that we must defer to legitimate macronational authorities, recognize our limitations, and until then, I'm just scared of what's going to happen.
Yeah, if no one's aware of what Matthew is saying, he's not only referring to the person that I haven't to name, but he's also referring to one Gabriel Young or Gabriel Sebastian, um, who's a party member within Caledonia. A few weeks ago, when he wrote an article, it was found that a member within the GUM and some puppet state that he obviously controls were going to, for a start, trying to extradite Gabe. They were gonna charge him with and they were gonna give him a criminal conviction, and that really goes back to what you were saying, Matthew, with the whole micronations can't really do that, because it's true they can't. For a start, these people don't know where Gabe lives. For a second point, that kind of conviction is not going to hold up in a real court. No one, you're going to get laughed out the door for it.
And even if it would, micronations do not have the ability to locate somebody they have no idea where they are and forcibly move them. The only sort of criminal cases that micronations can adequately adjudicate is micronational law, not macronational.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just a bit of, when we say like micronational law, that would mean like if a citizen, for example, said, I don't know, something against your particular constitution, was racist in one of your chapters, then kick them out of the nation or do whatever you're supposed to do. But if someone, for example, was murdered in one of your territories, don't try to become the justice in that situation. Get real authority.
Yeah, and that's why the Dolusian Constitution restricts the kinds of punishments the government of Dolusia is able to authorize. So under the Constitution, the limitations that we can have are we can only offer fines for micronational law violations. We can revoke their voting privileges, and we can denaturalize them, so revoke them of citizenship and ban them from entering Dolusian territory. That's all. That's all Dolusia is realistically able to do. So we restrict ourselves to the Constitution, recognizing our limitation.
Fair enough. We've actually ran through those questions a bit quicker than I had anticipated. Looking at the live dashboard, there are no questions waiting for either of you right now. So I think the last thing on the agenda is your questions for myself.
Grant, I'm not sure if it's the same for Leeward, but you should cut out.
I've cut out.
Yeah, he cut out for me too.
How have I done that?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
what
Right, okay, you're here.
the hell is going on with this?
No clue. Discord doesn't like us, apparently.
Probably. This was a problem in the early days of VRS.
2 minutes got some one chat.
Yeah. This was a problem in the early days of VRS when I was trying to set up some kind of stream and everything went balls up. So looking at the next thing on the agenda would be live audience question time, but there are no questions currently. the last and next thing on the agenda would be questions from both of you to myself. I don't know if you've got any, but
I don't really have any.
I don't have any.
That's fine. That's good. So we've ran through those questions a bit quicker than I had anticipated. Yeah, but we've ran through those questions a bit quicker than I'd actually anticipated us to, which is unfortunate. So I think what I'm gonna do is just end it off here, because I don't want to try and drag this out for another 20 minutes, half an hour, because that's just gonna make it really awkward. But I do thank you gentlemen for your time.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank
We
you
are
too.
very glad to have had this opportunity to talk about Dolusia and promote our new citizenship application.
Excellent.
Yep.
Again, you can
even if there weren't a few hits along the way.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you can find the Delusion citizenship application on at Delusia.gov on Twitter. So you know, go there if you're interested in being a citizen. So we'll see you all next week, hopefully with someone else to interview another Micronation, and with my good friend at my lover, 1939, hopefully talking about the multiverse theorem on our next conspiracy crew. So tune in for that next week, and I will catch you all